and welcome to the new video. If this is your first time here, my name is Hannah. Welcome to the new month, welcome to the new vlog, and welcome to the new episode of the Hannah Show. Hi, how are we doing? I hope everyone is well. I hope you had a good April. I hope you are in a positive state of mind to start May. I am definitely in the right state of mind to start May. I'm happy, I'm positive, I'm healthy. Also, April I feel like it was such a good reading month for me. I haven't actually completed my April TBR, but for me, I like to set a TBR. It just gives me, my TBR kind of gives me like limited options, something to choose from depending on my mood. And I actually started a couple of books back in April, but I haven't finished them. So I'm bringing them over to May. I have to remember that we are actually already in May. And these are Deep Cuts by Holly Brickley, and I'm actually really enjoying this book. I'm under 50% with this book and I'm actually having a really good time. This is about a girl and she meets this boy in a pub or in a bar, and they start talking about music lyrics, and turns out she's a very good critic, and the boy is actually a songwriter. He asked her to help him with some of his songs, which she does, and thanks to her help, his band and his songs become very popular. And we kind of like, we go through college with them, and we are now in kind of like I don't understand how the American education system is, but they were kind of like in college, and now they're doing like she is doing like postgraduate or something like this. I don't understand, but anyway, I feel she developed feelings towards the boy, but they are not being reciprocated. And this book reminds me a lot about One Day by David Nichols. I think David Nichols wrote One Day, when this girl kind of meets this boy on the very last day of university, and the whole book, the whole story takes them over the years. They're kind of like, they were friends, but I think the girl had deeper feelings as well. So it reminds me a lot about One Day, and I'm having a really good time with this book. It reads really quick as well, and it's just a very good contemporary story. I'm hoping that they're gonna get together. And the other book that I'm reading is Where Sleeping Girls Lie by Farida Abike Imide. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it right, and I'm currently about 60% in, page 354. This is how much I have left, so maybe just a third of the book left, and I'm listening to this via audio. And this book had been on my shelves for a very long time, but because of its size, I just found it really intimidating. And this is set in the UK in a boarding school that seems like a high school boarding school. There's a girl that's gone missing, and this new girl, Sade, she is new to the school. She starts kind of like 3 or 4 weeks after the school started already, and she is put in a dorm with this girl Elizabeth, and she kind of makes friends with her and with Elizabeth's best friend Basil. This girl Elizabeth's gone missing literally within like the first week that Sade was there. So she's kind of like, they're kind of investigating because it's strange, and the school is not helping out, and like there's police involved as well. But it's quite interesting. It feels like a high school drama, that kind of thing. It's definitely a very young adult book, but I don't mind because the story is actually captivating and engaging, and I feel like the characters are really nicely done as well in this story. So I'm having a really good time with this. I'm actually very curious to find out what happened with Elizabeth, and so it's a very interesting book. I'm enjoying, I'm having a good time with it. It's also a very long audiobook. I think it's about 17 hours, so I'm getting through it when I do my blanket, when I do my chores and stuff like that. So yeah, these are the two books that I'm reading on my Kindle. I started, well, I haven't started, I decided I am going going to read The Uninvited, and it's a zombie book, and I like zombie books, so I don't know how long it's going to take me. I'm hoping that I'll be able to finish it this month so I can give you an update. But yeah, so these are the 3 books that I'm reading. 1 physical, Deep Cuts, 1 audiobook, Where Sleeping Girls Lie, and The Uninvited on my Kindle. So that's that. Currently, I just come back from work and long ago, half an hour ago, and I got myself a drink, and I'm going to sit down and I need to edit certain things. But when I go downstairs, I will actually show you, because I'm planning. Yeah, I think, okay, so what's going to happen today? Today, I'm planning to finish Jason's blanket, and I want to show that blanket to you because it's absolutely gorgeous. So it's either going to be tonight, I'll show you, or tomorrow during the daylight. I think daylight will be better, but I am planning to finish the border today. And yeah, I'm so excited because this is actually a pretty amazing blanket. Lots of things planned for the next 2 days when I'm off, so hopefully I will manage to squeeze in as much as I can. I've washed the blanket that I made for Jason. It's there, so I'm just going to quickly show you. It's so amazing. This is the blanket. It's so big. It's basically like a blanket for it's a double size bed blanket. This is what it smells so good. This pattern is so gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And this is the pattern by MJ of the Hook. I will link her channel in the cards, link the video in the cards. It's so easy. It seems complicated, but it's actually really easy to do once you get the hang of it. But it's just so nice, and it's a really nice heavy blanket. So Jason will love it, I'm sure. And I already started something else. So I have this, which I think it's cotton. I think it's a cotton yarn, and I have this khaki color, and I actually made these granny squares today, and I'm going to turn it into like a summer top. I think that is the plan, at least. So I think I need 32 squares. I've got 2. Also, in the meantime, while I was ironing, I finished listening to Where Sleeping Girls Lie by Farida Abika-Imida, and I actually don't know how to rate this book because I like this book, I enjoyed it, but I don't think I'm just trying to think. At first I thought I'm gonna give it 4 stars, but then I was thinking, what 4-star books have I read recently, and how does this book compare with those? So it's more like a 3.5-star book for me, so I'm gonna round it down to 3 stars. 3 stars, it's still a book that I like, but it's just like nothing special kind of thing. It was good, I liked it, I enjoyed it. It was about a girl, like I said, went to this boarding school, and while she was there, one of the girls went missing, and then she was working with her friends. She was trying to discover what really happened. There's this kind of like this underground society at this school, and kind of like this elite club, and people from this club are involved in not very nice things. And yeah, so we kind of follow this girl and her friends while they're looking for Elizabeth, trying to find out what happened to her, but at the same time uncovering the truth behind the clues that Elizabeth left behind. So this is a very serious book, actually. It talks about a very serious subject of sexual assault and rape and stuff, so definitely check content warnings for this. But as a young adult thriller, it was actually quite enjoyable. It did read quite young, definitely for the young adult, new adult audience. But I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed how the plot I enjoyed how the plot unfolded. I feel like the characters, actually, do you know what? This is a 4-star book for sure. Because the characters are very nicely built. Every one of these characters that she introduced were very nicely developed. I felt empathy towards the characters and what they were going through. So I think, definitely a 4-star read. And I actually enjoyed it. This book talks also about grief grief and our sense of guilt or feeling of guilt. I don't know what else to tell you because I don't want to spoil the book for you. Even though it's a bit of a chunker, it's 560 pages. And the font is not the biggest, and it was, I think, 17 hours of audio. So it's a bit of a chunker, but it's definitely worth a read. 4 stars. I am going to find another audiobook for me to listen while I do my chores. What I do right now, I'm ironing my shirts, but I need to pick up another audiobook. Hello, boys and girls, circles and squares. What's today? Today's Friday. And I'm actually not 100%. Yesterday it's been a very hot couple of days in the UK, and yesterday I was feeling so hot on my train. I literally stood under the air conditioning unit, and I could feel this cold air blowing on me, and I think I got a cold because by the time I finished work I could feel my throat was hurting and my head was hurting. So I had rubbish sleep last night. I'm not so great today. However, my mood perked up a little bit. I got myself influenced and I got myself a Kobo. There it is. Kobo Libra color. Oh my gosh, it's so nice. It's actually so nice. So I'm trying to set this up, but in the meantime, I think what I want to do today, I want to finish setting this up, and also I am going to attempt to convert my Kindle books that I bought on Kindle into a EPUB format so I can actually read them on my Kobo. But the big winner for me was the fact that on Kobo I can actually join Kobo to my library, and I can check out books from the library and read on my Kobo. So that was great, and I'm so excited to set this up and transfer hopefully my books from Kindle to my Kobo now. I don't know if I told you, I'm reading Boys in the Valley. I'm listening to this via audio. I had an audiobook for this. I don't know how much I have left. I have just over 100 pages, so I don't know, maybe like 2.5 hours of audio maybe. This is, well, it's supposed to be a horror book, but I don't know, for me it's just not that scary. So there's this orphanage run by priests in a valley somewhere, like cut away from, very isolated. And one night this man is being brought to this orphanage, and the sheriff says, you know, they found this man and he was involved in, and it was Sheriff's brother actually, and he was involved in some sort of an occult thing. And so they bring this guy in, and then the man dies, and then things start to happen in the orphanage. And when the whole thing started, I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so good. But I don't know what to think of. There are things happening, but I don't know, I'm not getting bored, but I am also not very excited about this book, so I'm having very mixed feelings. But I'm hoping maybe tomorrow I will be able to finish it. But yeah, it's okay. It's just okay. I have a new toy. She's called Bubbles. She's an octopus. Look at her. And it is a crochet octopus that my friend made. And if you're interested, I will leave the link to her Instagram in the description box below, but also you'll be seeing her Insta on the screen as we speak. Look at her. She is absolutely stunning. I chose these colors myself. These are my 2 favorite colors, turquoise and pink. And Bubbles is absolutely amazing. And yeah, Claire, thank you very much. She is gorgeous. She is the favorite thing ever. Hi, I'm just about to film my April wrap up, but I just wanted to come in and quickly tell you that I have finished reading Boys in the Valley by Philip Fracassi, and do you know what? I think I expected a little bit more from this book because there's so much hype around this book. I expected so much, and unfortunately it didn't meet my expectations. So this book starts at the end of the 19th century, and we see a scene from a house where there's a husband and wife and a son, and I think they have some problems with like getting food for winter and stuff like that, and husband, in his desperation, he kills his wife and then he kills himself. Their house gets burned, and then their child is left alive, and he ends up going to this orphanage. In part 1, it starts in this orphanage that's in the beginning of the 20th century, where the boy is already, I think, like 16 or 17, something like this. He's one of those boys that help to look after the younger boys. He also has aspirations, together with Father Andrew, that's one of the priests that help in this, that run this orphanage. They have aspirations for Peter to become a priest. And then one night, what happens is this group of men bring this person, and they all seem to very scared, and they have guns and they're covered in blood, and they ask the priests for help. They say that, you know, this man, he's a brother of the sheriff, and he took part in some sort of an occult thing, but there's something that's not right with him. And as you probably suspect, right in the beginning of the story, he is a man apparently possessed. So anyway, the man dies, and then after the man dies in this orphanage, very strange things start to happen. Some boys turn against the rest of the boys, and, you know, I'm not going to go into the details, but, you know, with crazy stuff starts to happen. In the beginning of this book, in part 1, I was so hooked and I was so interested, because I've always been interested in the topic of possession. Like, one of my favorite books is The Exorcist by William Peter Blatty. Kind of didn't like the way it went. Like, the idea was there, but I guess I didn't like the execution, and I don't know, it was like, to me, there were parts when I was like, oh my god, like, come on, like, right, whatever. And I don't know, I just didn't like the execution. I didn't appreciate the execution. What I liked is arc of Peter, where we see his development as a character. He's him being torn between choosing the priesthood and just following his heart and stuff like that. So in this sense, it was interesting, but the possession aspect I actually didn't really like that much. Some people will absolutely love it. To me, it was just lacking something. I just wanted something more. I felt like it's been done already. This is how it felt. Like, I've seen this already, and I just wanted something more. So I'm a little bit disappointed. I still enjoyed this book, and I rated it 3 stars. I would still recommend it to people, because I feel like it's a very interesting story, especially when you follow the story of Peter and like few other boys from this orphanage. Generally, the story is good. I liked it. It's a 3-star rate for me.
Hello. Hold on. I think like I have to talk really close to the mic for you to even be able to hear me, because I have now completely lost my voice, and I had so much plans for today and for tomorrow, and I feel like poop, so I am not doing anything. I'll just change, come back from work, and I am going to go down, lay down on the sofa. My son is making me a cup of tea, and I'm going to lay down on the sofa, and I think I'm going to put the TV on, and I'm going to watch TV for a bit. Maybe try reading my book. If I read, I read. If I can't read, if I fall asleep, I'll fall asleep. So that's the update. I'm not feeling fantastic. I actually feel like I'm getting a bit of a temperature as well. Or maybe I'm just feeling a little bit cold because it's cold today, I don't know. But it's bad. Anyway, so I will chat to you when my voice is back, because you can't do anything with this. Bye. Hi guys. So this is the second day when I have no voice. So I'm trying to, oh my god, I'm trying to avoid using my voice. Therefore, I'm not gonna speak too long, but I'm gonna show you. I just wanted to show you, and also I look like a nightmare, but I wanted to show you I've just finished my top, and I think I'm gonna keep it short sleeves, and possibly if I don't wear it enough in the summer, I might turn it into a long sleeve sweater. So for now it's a short sleeve. It might be a long sleeve in the future, but this is what it looks like. Please don't mind my face because I'm sick. But yeah, showtime. I'm so happy. I think it's so nice. And the color is really nice. I think what I'm gonna do is just to fix this neckline. I want it kind of down, so I think I'm just gonna stitch it, and just so that it goes down. Otherwise, I'm so happy how it turned out. It was completely different to what I imagined it was going to be. And also, I don't know if you can see, 1, 2, 3, I've got 3 squares width, and I started with 4 and with a v-neck line. However, it was way too big for me, and I decided to take out the one whole row of squares on both sides, and then I removed the triangles, and instead of a triangle I put in a square, and I think it looks so good. I'm so happy. I honestly cannot wait to wear it, and now I'm gonna go because I feel so stupid even trying to talk. Never mind, I hope you are well, and I'm gonna go make some tea, and I think I'm gonna wash this, fix the neckline and wash this, and then I think I'm gonna sit down and finish deep cuts because I have about 50 pages left, so I can do it in like an hour. So I'm gonna do that. I love you and leave you. I'm gonna sound like I sound, but I have to record this because last night I finished reading deep cuts and I'm actually going to work. But I just need 5 minutes to tell you before I forget my kind of feelings. When I first started reading this book, I thought it was going to be a 5-star for me. It is not, spoiler alert. In this book, we follow Percy and Joe. And they meet in college, and Percy helps him write songs. Joe then becomes very popular. Joe's band then becomes very popular. And over the years, we see them over the years, we follow them over the years. And a very complicated relationship that they have, kind of like friends wanting to be lovers, wanting to be some more. In this sense, this book reminded me a lot about One Day by David Nichols, where the main characters meet in college as well, university, and we take the story over the years and we follow the kind of like on and off relationship. My tripod is broken, sorry guys, this is falling. And I rated this book 4 stars, and the reason I rated this book 4 stars is because I expected a little bit more of a love story, a little bit more of a romance from this book. And there is some. However, due to Percy's job, their story is kind of intersected with the essays that she writes about certain songs. And I would say 70% of this book is about music and 30% about their relationship, the love and the romance part. And I think I was missing a little bit more romance. I just wanted a little bit more, because as much as I admire the author's knowledge, oh my god, demon. As long as I admire the author's knowledge of music, I think I expected romance basically. So therefore, 4 stars. I still recommend this book because it's interesting. Go ahead and read it. It's a quick read. It took me a while, but for normal people, it'll probably take like a day to finish, or 2 days max. Yeah, 4 stars for deep cuts. So now I picked up another book, and today I'm gonna start Sunrise on the Reaping, and by Susan Collins. So this is the prequel to Hunger Games, and I absolutely love this foiling. I also enjoyed the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I know a lot of people didn't, but I think I rated that book 4 stars. So I'm hoping that this will be as highly rated as, for me, as Songbirds, as the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. So we'll see. I'm excited to start this, learn more about Hamish and his story, and yeah. I'll speak to you when maybe, I don't know, my voice is back, I guess.
Hi everyone. Oh my gosh, would you believe it's been 2 weeks since my last clip, since the last time I was trying to speak to you, because obviously I couldn't. I finally have my voice back. Like I said, it's been 2 weeks. It kind of sucked not being able to speak. I went to the doctors and she signed me off work. I have completely lost my voice. By the time, that day when I recorded just before I went to work, I was telling you about that I've just finished reading Deep Cuts, and I went to work, and at the end of the day I completely lost my voice. Even when I went to I booked an emergency appointment with my doctor, but I had to go there personally because I was not able to. There was no point of me calling them because they wouldn't even know what I was saying. So I managed to get an appointment the next day. I went first thing in the morning, and straight away she signed me off work, and I was forbidden to use my voice. She said no whispering, no talking, nothing unless it's an emergency. So I've been quiet for a very long time, and even when my voice started coming back, it really hurt. So I would be able to speak, but it wasn't like my normal speech. Like now, it was more like a very hoarse voice, and if I was trying to speak for too long, my throat would get really dry, and then I will end up with a really bad dry cough. So I went back, and I was actually prescribed antibiotics, but I was told not to take antibiotics unless I start having a chesty cough, which never happened. So it was all happening here. So I didn't end up taking any antibiotics. But yeah, it wasn't nice. A lot happened in a sense that I did a lot of crocheting. I finished a jumper. You'll probably see it in a video one day. I've done a couple of sleep token plushies. And what else did I do? I did a couple of plushies for my daughter. She's got a black lab and a French bulldog, and I crocheted both of them. And you probably are seeing, or if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen a clip from when she received the parcel. She didn't know that she was getting this, And it was so nice to see her happy, because she was going through some shit time recently, and I was so happy to be able to put a smile on her face. And also seeing the dogs react to the mini me's, oh my gosh, it was so lovely. Like, oh, like, you know, when the first one, Goose was the first one, the black dog, and he was kind of like so happy. But then when you watch this clip again and you see Bean is the little like a beige dog, he is kind of just chill. And then when he sees mini Bean, he kind of goes really happy and really crazy. And it was, for me, it was so nice to see. So, oh, I loved that. What else? I've been working on my book blanket, and I've been reading books. After Deep Cuts, I've read You've Lost a Lot of Blood by Eric La Roca, and then The Woman in Coach D. There was an audiobook, and then I also read Sunrise on the Reaping and A Flicker in the Dark, and also Darling Girls, and also Natural Beauty by Ling Ling Huang. And now I started reading a book for my Self-Destructing Books vlog, and I am also reading Stephen King, The Mist. I actually see my Kobo. I love my Kobo. I have my physical book upstairs, but when I'm downstairs, I try to read on my Kobo. And honestly, I don't know how I feel about The Mist, but we can talk about this when I do my wrap up. However, I want to say I used to have a Kindle, and I have not read on my Kindle as much as I read on Kobo. Kobo is a completely different ballgame. I don't know what it is about this device that makes me want to read on it. I always said I'm not an e-reader person. I prefer my physical books, if anything. But this actually, it just feels so good. Like, I don't know, I love everything about it. I like that I see a nice colorful cover, and how the library is set, and the fact that I can borrow books from my library as well and read on my Kobo. So yeah, there's a lot of plus points for me, and I actually really love that. And I've been reading on my Kobo a lot. I am going to, like I said, talk about all the books that I have read in my wrap up. I think I'm going to record a proper wrap up. I also want to record a horror bingo update, because I have now completed all the horror bingo boards. And like I said, I'm reading The Mist. That will be the first book for my challenge, where I read every book for every year that I was alive, or I am alive, that I've been alive. So I started with The Mist. And I've prepared a graphic for this as well. So I'm so excited to start ticking the boxes and filling up the spaces. Yeah, so that's that. My throat is starting to be a little bit funny now. And yeah, it just means I need to stop chatting. And then I think I'll just chill and read for a bit. I am about halfway through The Mist, or maybe past the halfway mark. So yeah, now I'm gonna go read my book for a bit, and I will catch you later. Oh, by the way, do you like the jumper? Yeah, so this is the jumper that I have knitted. It's so beautiful. I love it. It's as light as a cloud, and it's perfect for these kind of days when it's not exactly warm but it's not cold, and it's just like you just need something light to put on top of your vest or on top of your t-shirt, and this is perfect for days like today. So I've just finished reading Stephen King's The Mist, and did I tell you, I think I told you I'm doing this challenge where I'm reading a book for every year that I've been alive. So you have to start with the year you were born, and then you have to read in order. You cannot skip and go back and forth. So I had to start with 1980. The Mist was published in 1980, very, very long time ago. And it's only a short book, 160 pages or something like this. So I finished reading that, and honestly, I think because it was so short, it was okay for me to read. I don't think Stephen King's writing is for me. I will still keep reading his books because there's few of them that I have on my list to fill my 1980s prompts, so I will still read them. I think the next one I have on my TBR for this project, for this challenge, is Cujo. I think it's about a dog. I don't know. I've never read the synopses. I've never listened to reviews about this book. But yeah, this is the one on my list. I think it was published in 1st January 1981. So yeah, it will probably read very similar to this one, which when I say this, I mean a little bit outdated. This is definitely a product of the 80s or like the late 70s, 80s. And especially you can see that in the way that Stephen King talks about women, especially. I kind of didn't like his attitude. The other thing is, the book kind of starts in this very peaceful moment where a family is enjoying a sunny day around the house and whatnot, and then but there's like clouds rolling in, and they're expecting a horrible storm, and this storm actually happens. And the description of the storm was so good. It actually made me feel quite scared. And after the storm, when this mist rolls in, it's the same feeling that I had. It was scary, it was tense, and I think it's because you don't know what's coming. Like there's this fear of the unknown. You don't know what's hiding in the mist. And I absolutely loved the tension that, you know, the after the storm situation and when the mist started rolling in. I love that. And then this is not a spoiler because you can actually see it on the cover. There's this massive, I don't know, octopus, squid, whatever, and then these creatures start popping out from the mist. And this is where I kind of go like, okay, yeah. So this is the kind of the 80s vibe when you see like different strange things happening. At least this is the vibe I was getting. Like this, you know, the 80s. You can really feel the 80s. And I'm thinking, you know, if it wasn't for the creatures, if we still kept them in the mist without, you know, get them do things to people, but without seeing them and describing them, I think I will enjoy this book a little bit more. The creatures, they kind of, I didn't enjoy the creatures that much. I think King did a very good work when it comes to the characters, and I think a lot of people, I haven't read a lot of King's books, few only, I'm literally maybe less than 5 even, but a lot of people that read King, they always say his character work is amazing, and this I have to agree. His characters are really, really good, really well developed, and even though it's a short book, 160 pages, I feel he's done an amazing job with his characters. The only thing I have to say, my only complaint about this book is the choice that Stephen King made when it comes to David and his questionable behavior. And I think if you have read this book, you know. If you know, you know, basically. But it's about the situation with Amanda. And for me, it was like, you really didn't have to do it, Stephen. You really didn't have to do it, Steve. You could have left it out there. But I think back in the 80s, and I don't know if Stephen, if King is the only person that does that, because I haven't read a lot of books from this era. However, I feel like it was quite normal to include sex in any of the books, so I don't think this should be included. It could be left out, but you know, I am not the author, I'm just a reader, and I didn't hate this book. At first I was going to rate it 2 stars, but then after further reflection I decided that I will rate it 3 stars because it wasn't bad. I think maybe if it was longer, then I'd probably just be like, oh yeah, no, it's a 2-star book. The next one will be Kojo. I don't know when. I actually have that book on my Kobo, but I have started reading something else. I started reading The Heiress by Rachel Hawkins. That's it. I am going to go and make myself something to drink because my throat is dry, and I also need to edit that horror bingo update that I have just recorded. That's why I'm wearing this sweater. That's why I'm wearing this, and that's why I look so pretty. That's why I'm wearing this, and that's why I'm wearing makeup, because I kind of wanted to look decent. I've been working today in the bathroom changing silicones, and my eyes are watering because the silicone smell, the mastic smell is just too much. My eyes are a bit sore, they're a bit watery, so I had the windows open everywhere. So now when I click off, I'll be able to edit. I'm gonna open the windows again. I had to close them because there's some builders working next door and they're making a lot of noise, so I had to close the windows, but I'm gonna open them now again, and I think I'm gonna make a tea and I'm going to start on editing of that video that I just recorded. Oh my gosh, I am actually quite tired. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Bye. Just wanted to pop in here really quick because my Libby hold from like a couple of months ago just came through this morning, and it is for the Andromeda Evolution. Right, the author is not Michael Crichton. Someone else wrote this because Daniel H. Wilson wrote this, and this is booktube, and this is book 2 in the Andromeda strain, kind of like a duology. In the beginning of the year, I've read the Andromeda strain as part of my self-destructing books, I think, and I freaking love that book. So I know this book 2 was published after Michael Crichton passed away. I think he passed away in like 2008, and this the Andromeda strain, the Andromeda Evolution book came out in like 2019, I think. So this is happening 50 years after the initial Andromeda strain situation that they had in, like, I think it was Piedmont, and then they had this Project Wildfire trying to figure out what the flip this thing is, and then this book is 50 years later, and I think it's set in South America and Peru, I want to say, so I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, so in the 50 years, they had this program going on, secret program. It was called something. And basically, this program was placed just to monitor the situation, if that microbe, if that strain will come back at any time. And it comes back 50 years later in the form of kind of like an unidentified object in the middle of a jungle, and they detect this from like the satellites. They see the animals are like dead and people are dead, and basically they're sending a team of scientists to explore and kind of like contain the situation. And I'm really enjoying it. I'm having such a good time with this book. I have another hold that come through as well for Michael Crichton, State of Fear. So when I finish the Andromeda Evolution, I will be listening to the State of Fear. That's it. I'm gonna go and eat because I think my fish and chips are ready. Good evening. Apologies for the lighting. It's a little bit, it's dark in here. It's quite late in the evening. But I wanted to tell you something. I have just finished listening, well, not just today. I finished listening to the Andromeda Evolution. And that was written by Daniel H. Wilson, I think. So the story with this, okay, let me just rewind and start from the beginning. I think in January, at the beginning of this year, I have read The Andromeda Strain by Michael Crichton. Notice how beautifully I pronounced his name. I was struggling so much until one of you beautiful people explained to me in layman's terms how to pronounce his surname. So thank you very much. I know now. So back in January, I have read The Andromeda Strain by Michael Crichton. That book was published in 1969, I believe. Anyway, I loved it. It was about this strange thing that was picked up by the drones orbiting around the Earth and brought to Earth on one of the drones and killed that and the substance killed the entire population of this one town in somewhere in America. And so basically they sent a group of scientists. They started working on this, trying to figure out what it was. They had like biologists and chemists and all sorts of different people, and only 2 people were kind of like come out alive from that situation in that town. There was a baby that was found crying in a cot that didn't instantly die, and also an older man that was on some sort of a medication and whatnot. So they were taken into the labs. This whole thing was called Project Wildfire, and basically they were investigating what is the substance, and then eventually they called it Andromeda Strain. That book was packed so much action. It was so tense. I absolutely loved it, especially at the very end when oh my god, I can't tell you, but it was so good. And for me, I have this geeky side. I love sciences, and I do like reading sci-fi or listening to sci-fi and watching sci-fi movies, and especially when it comes to things like this, something that comes from outer space. Absolutely love that. So Andromeda Strain, that was that. So then I found out there's book 2 called Andromeda Evolution. However, that book was written by someone else, by Daniel Wilson, I think. And I was kind of like, I didn't know what happened. So anyway, Michael Crichton unfortunately passed away in, I think, 2008 at the age of 66. And that book, Andromeda Evolution, was published in 2019. And I still don't know how it works. Does someone just goes and like decides to, I don't know, oh, let me write a sequel to this? Or is it like someone from the family chooses an author to continue the series? Or, you know, is it based on like I have no idea how it works. If you know, let me know, because I know a similar situation like this happened with the Wheel of Time series, when I haven't read it, so I don't know the authors. I know it was started and written, the most of it was written by one author, and then I think after his death it was picked up by someone else. So I don't know how it works. It would be curious to find out. So anyway, cut a long story short, Andromeda Evolution, I checked on Libby, and I placed a hold a long time ago for that sequel, and it came through the other day. So I listened to this, and oh my gosh, what a book. This literally packed so much action right from the beginning. So basically what happened is, in the middle of the Amazonian jungle, they discovered this structure. No one built it, it just suddenly appeared, and it's growing. What's worst, all the animals around this structure, around this build, and people die. So they send a group of scientists into this jungle. So these people go in, and things start to happen. They start to explore what's inside and whatnot. I'm not going to go into the details because I don't want to spoil anything. But oh my gosh, I was literally on the edge of my seat listening to this book. It was so good. It was literally right from the beginning. It was packed with action. It was brilliant. It had everything that I like about the book like this. It literally tickled that geeky side that I have. You know, there was quite a lot of stuff about like the sciences and everything. And also there were moments of that book that reminded me a lot about For All Mankind. For All Mankind is a show, I think it's on Apple TV if I'm not mistaken, and it's one of my favorite shows ever. Like I said, I love outer space and sciencey things and stuff like that. So I think someone that enjoys For All Mankind, or enjoyed that show, will definitely enjoy this, the Andromeda Evolution, and the other way around as well. I absolutely loved it. I rated it 5 stars. Also, not sure if I told you, I have ordered a copy for my shelves. So I found a seller on eBay, and they had that book, and they also had Sphere by Michael Crichton. Sphere, the movie Sphere with, I think it's Jodie Foster, was based on this book. So I really want to read that one again as well. So the Andromeda Evolution really reminded me of Sphere as well. I love that kind of stuff. So I've ordered these two. I want the Andromeda Evolution as a trophy for my shelves because I already have Andromeda Strain. And yeah, I'm going to read Sphere as well. And I also picked up, because when I placed a hold for the Andromeda Evolution, I also placed a hold for State of Fear. That's another book by Michael Crichton, and I started listening to this today. However, I checked the chapters in the book are really short, and I'm actually considering reading this physically, or maybe doing like a tandem read, like a little bit of audio, a little bit of physical book. So I'll see, because I still have other books that I'm reading. I'm reading a book for my self-destructing books video, and I still read a book that I started in this vlog, but I haven't finished. So yeah, I have stuff to read. And also I recently posted an unboxing for my Abominable Book Club, and I wasn't happy with one of these books, The Buffalo Hunter, and Kate actually she's like, oh my god, you must read it. So I might put that on my TBR as well, and give Stephen another chance. I don't know, we'll see. So anyway, that is all to come in June, I think. Anyway, I am going to go. I'm going to close this vlog here. It's been a very strange month for me this month, because of me being so unwell for so long. So hopefully this vlog is not going to take half of your life to watch. Hopefully it's a little bit shorter than the other ones. Thank you very much for being with me. Thank you very much for coming in and, you know, checking in and leaving comments and likes, and just, you know, being one of those great people, especially Kate. I want to say thank you. And also Marie, I don't know, I can't remember if it's Marie. Yeah, you know who you are, the lovely lady that recommended Michael Crichton to me. Thank you so much. You have literally opened up my world, so thank you so much. Anyway, I am going to go. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and in the comments, why don't you leave me anything to do with space or outer space. Could be moon, stars, sun, whatever comes to mind when you think space or outer space. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next one.